Hello everyone, day 3 of my journey in my Webflow journey, and today we're gonna learn about grid. I'm gonna learn from the tutorial from Webflow Help Center. You can find it in your dashboard, in the tutorials. Oh, actually no, you can't find it here. I found it from Google. Webflow grid. Here is the tutorial. It's very up to date. It was updated 3 months ago. I'm gonna just go read everything and then try to recreate it in Webflow. Gonna practice a little bit. This will be our introduction to the grid. I'm a complete beginner, so you see my learning process. I hope it will be interesting for you. And it's very useful for me because it's like my diary. When I make this video, I'm gonna watch it and then I'm gonna watch a tutorial, and that's how I'm gonna learn the grid. Okay, let's go. Grid, also known as CSS Grid, is a display property for structuring layouts. It provides flexibility for repositioning and resizing grid content to produce powerful, responsive designs. Note that since grid is a display setting, it is a guide. Okay, how to create and edit a grid. To create a grid, add an element that supports grid, section, div block, etc. to the canvas from the Add panel. Then select the element, go to Style panel, Layout, Display, and choose Grid. Okay, let's do that. Port, height, blank site, level, grid, create site, out. So this is the navigator. Let's press A. And let's get a div block. We have a div block here. From the style panel, let's make it a grid. Okay, now we got grid. You can see we have 4 cells, 4 columns, and 2 rows. The guide. You can edit the grid right there in the style panel or in grid edit mode. To open grid edit mode, click the range icon to the right of the columns, rows fields, or select the grid on the canvas and click the grid edit icon. Okay. Range button. We can see we have options to edit the grid. I'm not sure how to use it yet. To exit grid edit mode, click done on canvas overlay or click the close icon in grid settings. Yeah, we can click the done or maybe this X button. Okay. Out. Add columns and rows. To add new columns and rows to a grid, go to Style panel, Layout, Display. Use the Increase button. The respective columns and rows fields. You can also type a number into the columns and rows field. Let's increase. Here we have 3 columns now, 4 columns. We have 3 rows. Okay, this is straightforward. Nothing really. You can also type numbers here. 4, 4, okay. Open grid. Oops, second step on. Press the wrench. Yeah, we can this. We're getting more rows, columns here, or rows if we press this. Okay, we got it. Also, we can add here. Okay. That without plus click. Reset everything. Okay. We uh, we know now how to add and remove columns, rows, duplicate and delete columns and rows. There are 3 ways to delete columns and rows. Use the decrease button on the columns and fields. Add some and columns. Yeah, we can just use this button. Okay, open grid edit mode here. Hover over a column or row and you can trash them from here. Trash icon, okay. Open grid edit mode, right click column or row header on the canvas and click. Okay. Branch, then we go here, right click. You have to press it first, right click. There, delete. Grid edit mode. Click or right click on the column or row header canvas. Oh, okay, here. Delete it, the header. Okay, I got it. By two. Okay, got this. There are 2 ways to duplicate columns and rows. Grid edit mode. Hover over column, row in style panel, settings, click duplicate icon. Here, press duplicate icon. Forward, very easy. Another way. It, it, got it. We can reverse everything by holding Alt key on Windows and press the left button. So it's okay. Reorder columns and rows. You can reorder columns and rows in Grid Edit. Hover over the row or column you like to move, then drag the handle that appears on the left side with desired position. Okay, let's make it 3 columns and 3 rows. Let's press the range. We can see here the over. Maybe, yeah, you can see we can move everything. Or maybe, can we drag it from here? We have to use, okay, got it. Adjust gaps between columns and rows. Gaps let you specify the space between columns and rows without having to add a margin or padding. To adjust the gap size between columns and rows, go to Style panel, Layout, Gap, enter value. Okay, we can see the gap here. Yeah, we can see the gap is bigger now. Can remove the gap. You can see all the cells are just next to each other. Get plus 60. Okay, by default, gaps between columns and rows are locked. That if you change the gap size for columns, the gap size for rows automatically adjust to the same number. To independently adjust the gap between columns and rows, click the lock icon to lock them. Here is lock. I mean, they're locked now, so this gap and this gap will be the same. When unlock it, this will change the gap only between the columns. 30. Gap between columns is changed, but the gap between the rows is not changed. We're gonna make the gap between rows 60. Okay, we got it. Let's lock it. Okay, let's. Okay, very nice. Continue by default gaps. Okay, okay. Got it. Pro tip: to quickly increase or decrease gap size, drag the gap slider or hold down Option on Mac or Alt on Windows. Drag your mouse left or right over the columns or row views. Okay. Oh, I don't know what I'm not doing. Right? I don't get it. Too quickly. Drag the gap slider or hold down option. Drag your mouse left or right. Maybe I should press the button now. Okay, I'm holding out. Yeah, okay, okay. Got it. You have to press the range button first. That's that's range button. Now I can change the gap, the rows and the columns. But I don't know why. If I lock it, Now when I adjust this gap, this gap should be adjusted as well, but it's not when we use the the manual the manual way. If I lock it, well, yeah, I can. When I change it, this isn't changing, even though this is locked. Okay, I got it. I got it. Now you can adjust columns and row sizing. You can adjust the size of grid columns and rows in grid edit mode by selecting and dragging the column or row header desired size on the canvas. You can also enter a custom size for columns, rows by clicking a row or column header. Okay, sizing. Okay, we're increasing the size of the first rows, columns of the first column. Also increase size first row. Okay, I got it. We can increase the size by clicking this header as well. The row size this way. We're gonna second column size. Out of it can be an out of FR. This FR is a metric here. It's not pixels. Okay, we got it. How to change the sizes. Grid sizing. You can use regular units, pixels, EM, RAM when determ, det- determining grid sizing. When determining grid sizing, and you can use FR units. This word it's very hard to pronounce. The FR unit represents a fraction of the available space in the grid. I think this is very important. You use it to define the length of rows and columns just like a percentage or pixel unit. But unlike fixed percentage or pixel unit, the FR unit automatically calculates row and column space while adjusting for gaps. Okay, I think I got it. You can also set min-max values to ensure your rows and columns don't shrink beyond a set minimum value or expand beyond a set maximum value. For example, if you want your rows to have a minimum height of 200 pixels, you can set the minimum value to 200 pixels and the max value to odd. Then the row will grow based on content inside and never shrink beyond 200 pixels. Let's think for a minute here. Okay. How to place content in a grid. You can add any child elements, headings, images, div blocks, etc. inside the grid. By default, every new grid child will populate an individual grid cell, viewing the next available cell from left to right. If there are no more available cells in a row, a new row will be generated to house the new grid children. Okay? I think I get it. Let's try it. Let's get some elements. Where don't want this block. Outside the block, I press Ctrl and K, or maybe we can same heading. Okay, now the heading is outside the block. We would then drop the element inside this grid. Another heading. Button. Another button. Maybe paragraph. What else? Maybe a form. Okay, and let's start dragging, dropping element. Okay. Then we drop. And now the form. Form. Form is where form block. Okay, let's see this. Let's press F1. There is empty button. Paragraph. Here is a button. So we can't see. So everything is fixed and every element was when we were dropping the elements, they were feeding the cells from this cell to from left to right. Yeah, I get it. Let's do it. Control and Z. Go back in time. Let's make a new block. Control and E block. Pick it. Let's make let's make arrows. Recall. Now press Ctrl again. Different colors. Every heading. A red color. Hello. Local. Black. Black. Purple. Yeah, it is pink. Yeah, it's okay. Let's now this and drag it cells. I'm trying to drag it in cell, but it get going in this cell. Like how to place, you can count them. By default, every new grid chart will populate an individual grid cell and fill the next available cell from left to right. Okay, so we're going here, left, and now if we want to drag an element grid, it will take the second cell. Now this cell. Now this one. One. Okay, okay. Maybe give it an. I wonder what I'm doing. I'm just trying to understand how this grid is working. I'm still a complete beginner, so I'm just playing with it. If there are no more available cells in row, new row will be generated. House the new grid children. Okay, let's try this. We have more cells here. Let's bones, but rows. Yeah, and now let's draw and find element. Class, color, green. So now, if we drop this heading grid, should make cell posted. Okay, made another cell. Look now. Okay, and we can see how to generate row one. Maybe this is this row. How to generate a row. Maybe this. Okay, we can see how to. Row will be generated. How's the new generate row? Change the direction grid content. You can change the direction of grid shoot tab panel. Here you can select horizontal places to left, right, or vertical, which places to bottom. Okay, this is the direction. Let's right, lock. Let's change the direction to vertical. Okay. Okay. Manually, hold shift while you drag the element. Press. Okay. I hold shift. Now I'm gonna back to the. Okay, it's working. Can we? Okay, it's working. Very nice. Hold shift and move the elements where we want. Nice. You can also change the position setting of an existing grid chart menu. So select chart, go to tab panel, grid chart, set it to menu. Uh, Oh, you can also chart to menu out. That one. Oh, okay. Set it to. Okay, if you wanna make it go in the first column and first row, that row, right here. 1 and 1, it should go here. Place it here, but went inside the heading 6. Make it, place it here. Column 3. Okay, I made the first. Uh, okay, I got it. I made the full circle. I think I I get the idea. How to nest multiple elements with cell. Yeah, I got it. Got this as well. Okay, you see here. If I press 1 now, it's gonna stop this. When I it here, 1, it's jump to. But now this was pushed here. Don't jump. Okay, get it. Element, direct chart, one chart, other element, comment. I will track the element. So you can also select the string, fine. But element out. But Let's do cell example. Let's control that. Okay, where is the heading block? Can add setting now. Block. Now block is side per cell. Side the block is a heading and a button. Paragraph. So remove. Let's copy and a lot of them. But they shouldn't side. No, actually it's perfect now. We have this div block. Let's rename it. It's gonna be with our grid. This so it's just a cell. Delete all the cells. And copy and paste again. Cells. Grid. We have 3 columns and 3 rows. So we have automatic auto generate 3 auto generated cells. Yeah, I get it. Let's just add rows and they shouldn't be out. Oh, they are out. Okay. So I guess this is how we add elements in the cells with creating a div, then add elements inside. Okay. Once you fire the structure elements, out you can add other elements. Go by go, drag the select and use find add additional elements. Yeah, that's what we did. Nice. Duplicate one. There are 2 ways you can duplicate the grid layout to. Okay, that's exactly what we did. We can also press Alt. Have another cell. Back in time. Okay. Duplicate content in grid. Okay, got this. This is when. Okay, let's make more cells. Grid. Row. Cell. You press Alt. Drag it. This cell. Out and drag it here. Out. It here. Okay. Very easy. This grid is amazing and doesn't look so complicated. Let's try to center everything. Line center. Center. Yes. Give this cell out. Flex. Yes. It. Everything is horizontal now. Let's make it vertical. Let's double click the center. It's very pretty. Let's give some, because every cell has the same class. When we change this to one of the cells, affecting every cell, very convenient. So margin, top, bottom, and we give cell a border. Yeah, but where is the border? I can't see. Oh, border. Oh, okay. We have to stroke. Okay, nice. I mean, it's not looking good, but we did something. Okay, let's continue. How to move, span and align content in the grid. Once you've placed your content in the grid, you can customize the content design. You can content around to different cells, span the take up multiple cells and alignment content. Okay, reposition content in select drag the grid cell, start location or navigator. Change. Let's give another class. Because if I make any changes here, it will affect every cell. They're all with the same class. Let's change the. Now let's see if we can change. Yeah, we can change Size of the cell from the okay, that grid child order grid child by selecting the child and child panel child. First, first, last, last. Okay, that order. I think this is number is just press first one, press this out first, heading and not the cell. Now I want first. If I write 2 here and then press it first, and now it's not changing if I press first because we have 1 here. If I press first, it's second because number is 1 and this cell number 1 as well. Okay. Okay, I think I get it. I'm not very sure. Gonna learn it eventually. You can't get everything from the first try. But I think this grid is very straightforward and we're learning a lot. I think it's going fine. The flexbox was a little bit more. This grid looks easy so far. I'm pretty sure it will be very hard things professionally in the future, but for now, following this guide, there is nothing very that complicated. Align content in update alignment for all grid. Select the grid. Now, align. There you can align box. Align grid content. X and Y axis. Also reflect the value you set. Change the alignment of out. Select the grid. out and style panel. There you can set alignment for navigation. Reach out, align, and okay, it's kind of shame that all of our cells look now. Let's change them. So color black, color red. Let's now gonna have more or gray. So let's go. This one. Okay, now we change the colors. Cells. And let's see. Go up, date, the alignment for all children. Take to grid. There you can align box. Find the context X and Y. Select the grid. And lay out the line. Happening. Nothing is. Because nothing is happening. We can't learn anything. Update the alignment for all children. Select grid. Layout line. There you can the line box. Have more cells. vertical or horizontal. More columns. I think I get it, even though we can't see it now visually. To change the alignment of a cell, select the grid cell and go to tab on grid cell. There you go. Set the alignment. Flex, press grid. Press grid. More alignment options. Icon. I don't think we need those. No, 0s and one column. Then we have to center it. Oh, okay, we did it. Looks nice. Justify content. Let's see if we gonna the left. Okay, I get it, I get it. Okay, nice, nice. We made one column with 3 rows. Exactly how it's here, and what will happen if icon? Open it. Okay, I get it. Nice. Span grid children. Span and automatically position grid chart across multiple grid cells. Select grid chart. Go to style panel, grid chart, position. Panel, position. This is exactly what we did. Yes. Okay. Lock grid position. Negative number. Negative position. The grid. Yeah, this. I think this is the. Yeah. Got it. Negative grid chart position. Barrows are great if you don't want to respawn your navbar to full columns. The navbar between column first. Count minus was last one. Okay. Nice. Negative, negative the opposite. Well, don't respond on that. Don't have bar here. Want to keep that in it. Let's set the end the negative start. Back one. But we'll okay, this for the response. Current switch out settings apply only to the selected element and current saved with the class pink labels. The panel show change settings apply to the selected element. The current break. These settings create lower breakpoints that are indicated with orange labels. The indicator will turn pink again when edited. Orange setting. To remove any applied glitch out setting, click pink label on the setting, then click reset. Got it? Overlap grid children. Grid children with manual position automatically overlap when they intersect in the same cells. You can control the stack order, those overlapping elements by repositioning the navigator or by adjusting position settings. Okay. Find it. That okay, I get it. So this is the index is if the one of the elements is with the number 1, and if you make the other -1, the element with the index 1 will be on top of the element with index -1. Here, okay, we can here if it's -1, 1 or 2, let's make. We'll learn more about this later. Introduce the index element doesn't work with static elements, even if that is in arrow, this element will appear on top of any other static element. So to overlap the index you go for any element not set to static. Yes, relative. There is a z. Well, that's okay. X 2. This element has z2 element have x 1. Let's make it relative 1. And now by padding here on this side, how to make the both cell bigger to overlap. They're adjusting. Anyway, I think the logic is now if this cell overlaps this one, the yellow cell will be below this one, the purple cell, because this index is bigger. 2 here, here it's 1. The logic behind this. Absolute position to remove an element from document flow. Absolute is a great option. The position of an absolute element isn't affected by other elements, doesn't affect the position of other elements. Let's make it absolute. See happen. Absolute. Can we now padding and overlap everything? Yeah, look, we're overlapping everything. But let's stop, and if we give green cell index 3 and we change position the index 3, and now if we increase the padding, look, it won't overlap this one because it has bigger z index. Okay, I get it. By default, the position of element is relative to the body element. You can position any absolute element inside an element that parent set to anything static. Okay. Use the position attributes top, left, bottom, right to set the location. Arrows will be relative next parent and with setting other than static. Yeah, I get this. Fixed positioning. Fixed elements are positioned relative to the viewport for the browser window. When you scroll down the page, fixed elements stay fixed in their position. Position setting is often used for fixed navigation. Okay? The elements will alternate between a relative fixed positioning based on the viewer's role. Stick element is relative to the document flow. When you would define scroll position at this point, it switches to behavior of a fixed element, direct parent. Once the stick element hits the bottom of parent, stop scrolling. You must specify at least position value for the top, bottom, left, or right side for work. Position sticky may not work correctly if any parent element has set height of overflow set to hidden scroll or out. There are certain browsers that don't support sticky positioning. Okay, check out which browser support position. Okay. 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 Let's get back. Grid. Few empty grid cells. Here grid settings. Overlap grid children. Turn above. Few empty grids. Empty cells might remain in the grid when you have span grid children. To automatically populate these cells with content, go to start panel. Direction. Then cycle. Okay. have a go here. Don't. Let's remove padding. Out. Cell. Layout. Yeah. To automatically populate these cells with content, go to step 1, layout, direction, direction. Then grid view goes earlier in the grid if more items come later. Okay. Go to the settings, feature, empty cells, can be brought from out of the display, not where they appear on the page. How to design a responsive grid? To design your grid so it's responsive across matter, either manually columns, smaller breakpoints, or enable auto-fit to automatically generate columns and rows to accommodate smaller screen size. Okay, get it. Manually style the grid layouts across breakpoints. Make sure it is responsive for no devices. Remove columns, smaller breakpoints. If you can't remove columns from breakpoints, try setting your grid direction to row. Make sure you haven't manually positioned those columns. Make sure you don't have child elements running those columns. Okay. Enable auto-fit. Auto-fit is one of the most powerful features that allows you to automatically repeat and wrap columns so the grid works across every screen size. Per breakpoint. Enable auto-fit. Delete all but one column and one row grid. Then go to grid edit mode. Click column header. Set maximum dimensions for the column and click check auto-fit. More columns will automatically generate and repeat. Repeat to responsively put content on you. Let's add this. Row. Auto-fit. Row in mode. Column head set. Maximum. Yeah, get it. Okay. And then we set to absolute though. That's why it's not going into cell. relative. No, where it should be. So, that one. Look, we have now two cells. Okay, guys, I think we learned a lot today. For me, it looked a bit easier than the text box, but there is so much more to learn. We now just scratched the basics. The tutorial was great. I learned a lot. Now I should play a video tutorial. This is how I learn now. I first try to do the things with the documentation or a tutorial, and then I watch a video about it. It's kind of easier for me to study this way because I have an idea now about the CSS grid. And then when a mentor make a video and tell me exactly how you should do things, I can learn much better and faster because I have some experience, very little, but it's something. And then I will try to recreate everything again. And this is how I'm learning. This is my method. That's how I'm going to do this. Okay, I think we're done today and see ya tomorrow. Bye bye.